In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him nothing was made that was made.
For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Jake Johnson, and you, my friends, my countrymen, my internetonians, you are watching Untethered Live, and this is the deep end of it. The deep end of all things, the deep end of mysteries unknown, the deep end of the wild blue yonder, the deep end of the abyss. Welcome to the show. I hope you're having a good time tonight. I hope you're ready for some trouble. Speaking of trouble, we got a new name in town. Is that You're In For Trouble? You're In For Trouble. I got it. I like it. Welcome, You're In For Trouble. Hey, April. How are you doing, sweetheart? Kevin? What's happening, my brother? Good to see you. This is Bible study on a Monday night. We did some pretty deep and intense stuff last night on Sunday night, which starts at 8 p.m. sharp, and tonight at 8:30. And hey, Laura, how are you? Welcome to the show. It's a lovely day. It did not rain today. Got some work done today. Got the money to fix my bike today. So tomorrow I'll be riding again. My ponytail will be flapping in the wind by sundown. I'm in rather good sorts today. I'm in a good mood. Having fun, ready to rock and roll. Nick Gurr, welcome to the show. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Hello to you too. As I was just explaining, this is Bible study. We'll go through some books. I'll read what's on the page, I'll discuss, and then at the end of the show, I'll take questions and try my darndest to answer them. Nobody cares? Well, if nobody cares, then what's the point, right? I tend to disagree. I care a great deal. I am human, after all. I have ups and downs, ins and outs, goods and bads. Happiness and sadness, that tends to cause people to care. Won't you stick around and maybe you'll learn something different about yourself or others. Why am I smoking? Well, because I'm above the age of 21 and I enjoy the taste of cigarettes. Why would anyone smoke? Puff, puff, pass. Here you go, my dear. You're welcome to it. I get that a lot, actually. Let me explain it to you. I'm a man. I was born on earth just like you were. I'm a sinner just like you are. I've never claimed to be anything other than what I am. I am not perfect. I am educated, I am scholarly in nature of this particular subject, not so much in anything else. And I do a few things that aren't necessarily a good thing, which is why you should listen to me when I explain it to you, because I'll tell you what's right and wrong because I've done it. I'm also a rock star, or was. I'm a washed up rock star, and everything that goes with that. And now I teach Bible. But if you want me to pretend to be somebody I'm not, maybe I could put on an Armani suit and wear a Rolex. Maybe I could tell you that Jesus just wants you to send me $1,000. Whatever you like. Whatever would make you feel more comfortable. I smoke. Everybody that knows me knows that I smoke. You know what I mean? So, I don't really care if you like it or not. All I care about is you listen to what I say to you and think about it. If you'll do that, if you'll just give me an hour of your time and think about what I say, that's it. I'm not asking you to follow me. I'm not trying to convert you. I'm not going to pray for you unless you ask me to. I'm certainly not going to try to talk you into smoking. But, pay attention to what I say. You might just find out that there's some truth that comes out of these nicotine-stained lips. What kind of stuff? Just cigarettes. I don't do any of the hard stuff. A regular old Pall Mall cigarettes. I'm smoking that Jamal Hennington pack. I hear you. Why did Huge Jazz get banned? I don't know. I didn't do it. But I would assume that if they got banned, it was because they were running their mouth and not being respectful to the reason we're all here. Well said, Jake. Thank you. Am I single? Yes, I am. I haven't always been. I am a collector. I've had a few wives in my time. But at the moment, I'm by myself. I'm also straight Nick. So, for what that's worth. I'm on the Molly. Well, I bet you're having a good time. You'll also find out that I'm not here to judge you. So, as long as you're respectful to me, I'll be respectful to you. I don't care what you're doing. And when I get started, pay attention. Opinion on James Charles. I don't know who James Charles is. I'm sorry. Get those raw dog kills my son. I don't know what that means. Are you testing me? I don't want to, but I will break out the band hammer. Yes? Are we good? Excellent. Yes, guys, this is Bible study. Let's keep it respectful. Thank you, April. It's bigger than black and white. Well, that's not a subject we're talking about here, so you might be in the wrong place, Nick. Damn, that was a threat. I'd be worried about her if I was you. I'd be looking over my shoulder, big boy. I love the religion. This is not a religious channel. I hate to burst your bubble. Bible and religion are not the same thing. Respect God, that's right. I don't care what you believe. I'm not asking you to believe anything. I'm only asking you to listen. That's it. That's all. I'm going to read what's in the book, and I'm going to explain what it says. That's it. That's all. I'm not going to try to convert you. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong unless you ask. If you ask, I'll tell you the truth. Other than that, you can argue all day long about what God is. You can argue all day long about whose God is correct. If you argue that there is no God, I hate to tell you, but you are vastly unobservant. Look around. Ask a few questions. There's no way to get from nothing to something without help. I'm sorry. Well, you did. You came into this room. This is my house, and it's a privilege to be here. You don't have to be here. This is not a right for you. So you coming is you asking what's going on in this channel. I'm following along in the Mormon Bible from my mom's room. Hey, that's cool. It'll probably vary from what my Bible says, but there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, you're out of here, Nick. You've had your chance. You've been warned twice. Yes, there are lots of ladies in here because women love strong men who tell them the truth. Take that with you as you go out the door. Is it compatible, or do I need an adapter? I would strongly suggest you pick up a King James Version Bible. It's the closest translation we have to the original texts. It's not perfect, but it's as close as you're going to get. I don't know what's in the Mormon Bible, but I would assume there's a few things missing, like the blood and the reason for God's doing things the way he does them. I've noticed that that's a trend in the revised versions of the Bible, that they take the blood out, and the blood is important. That's part of the whole thing. The life is in the blood. So I'm not really sure if it will be compatible. Follow along, and if you get lost, I'll have the words on the screen, and you can read along with me, okay? Thank you, April. Thank you for getting rid of the troublemaker. I tried. I asked him to stay and listen. That's all I can do. It's lovely. You get the most flack when you're over the target. Bless you as well. You're in for trouble. Let's go down here and get started, shall we? Like my stained glass window here. Somebody wanted that, so I put it up. It's not really my thing, but hey, they like it, so. We are in the book of Zephaniah. That is the third book from the end of the Old Testament. The great book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, verse, and it goes like this: 5, 6, 7, 8. In that day it shall be said to Jerusalem, Fear thou not, and to Zion, Let not thine hands be slack. Don't be afraid, and stay busy. That's what that means. It'll be said in those days, don't be afraid, and stay busy. I know life gets hard. Things are troublesome at times. Don't be afraid. You are stronger than that. You have something to live for. The Lord thy God in the midst of thee is mighty. He will save. He will rejoice over thee with joy. He will rest in his love. Rest. That word rest is Shabbat. That means to have refuge, to be safe. And they use it a lot in the Bible. He will joy over thee with singing. In other words, it's really his favorite thing to do, to save somebody. The Lord thy, I read that, sorry. I will gather them that are sorrowful for the solemn assembly. Who are for thee, or who are of thee, to whom the reproach of it was a burden? Who is saying that it's a burden to reach out and pull you in for the day of sorrow, or the solemn assembly, which is just before the Lord's return, or the day of the Lord? Hey, God Jesus. That's interesting. All right, son. If you want to stay here, you need to behave yourself. You've made, pay attention. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halteth, and gather her that was driven out. I will let them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. What do you reckon causes that shame? You understand? The shame is the affliction that you carry. That's your sin. That's the thing that you do that you know is wrong. You know it because it's written in your heart. You know right from wrong. When you're a baby and you steal a cookie and you get caught, you have that look on your face. They get that look like they know they did something wrong. Nobody told them or even explained to them the concept of theft or property or right and wrong at that age. Yet they know they did wrong to the point that they would lie about it or that they would feel ashamed for it. Why you reckon they know that? Because you're born with right and wrong in your heart. You know what you're supposed to do. And when you don't do it, that affliction causes shame. It's as simple as that. But God says that he'll be there to save you when you halt to that shame, when you're driven out because of it, that you're committing at the moment. That's the beautiful thing about Christianity. At that time, I will bring you again, even in that time that I gather you. For I will make you a name and a praise among all people of the earth, when I turn back your captivity before your eyes, saith the Lord. That means in the Lord's day, that's the end of time. That's when Jesus comes back and that day begins. That's 1,000 years of the new way of doing things. He's going to turn you right before your very eyes back into something pure, back into something clean. And it's going to blow you away, I promise. And we've left the book of Zephaniah and we've reached the book of Haggai. In the 2nd year of Darius the king, in the 6th month, in the 1st day of the month, came by the prophet unto Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, governor of Judah, and to Joshua the son of Josedek, the high priest, saying, Thus speaketh the Lord of hosts. That's God Almighty, by the way. This people say, the time is not come. The time that the Lord's house should be built. That would be the temple that's built in Jerusalem, and it's not time yet for that to be built. That would be a job that David will take on, David the king, who will not be allowed to do it because he's a man of war, but his son Solomon will build that temple later, and we're a little bit behind that right now. Then came the word of the Lord by Haggai the prophet, saying, Is it time for you, O ye, to dwell in your sealed houses, or houses with ceilings? That's different than a tent or a mud hut. It's a house with a ceiling and a floor. And this house lie waste. You hadn't cleaned it in months. Look at it. Look at the place you're living. Is it time for you? Now, therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, consider your ways, people. Consider your ways. What is it that you're doing? What do you ascribe to? What do you believe in? Who do you serve? Who is your master? Do you know? Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it in a bag with holes in it. In other words, your money is spilling out on the ground. You're not saving anything. You're wasting it. You're spending it out on frivolous things that don't really matter. Can you adjust? Are you working hard enough? Are you making enough income to satisfy yourself? And if you are, what are you doing with it? Are you preparing it? Are you putting it up? Are you investing it in things like the Untethered Live podcast to help bring the word of God to many, many people who need it? What are you doing with your finances? Do you have a bag with a hole in it? Think about it. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, consider your ways. This is the 2nd time he said it for emphasis. He'll probably say it 3 times if it's my guess, or more. Go up to the mountains and bring wood and build the house, and I will take pleasure in it. And I will be glorified, saith the Lord. You do the work. You put in the effort, and that's good enough. It will glorify me because I know you're building a house in my honor, saith the Lord. You looked for much, And lo, it came to little. And when you brought it home, I did blow upon it. Why? Saith the Lord of hosts, because of mine house that is waste. And ye run every man unto his own house. You don't even let them stick around. Your house is a mess, and your company won't stay around. Think about your ways. I said it that time, not him. Therefore, the heaven over you is stayed from dew, and the earth is stayed from her fruit. Because you've kept a bad house, I'm going to stop letting the earth provide for you for a little while. Let's see how you do then. And I called for a drought upon the land, and upon the mountains, and upon the corn, and upon the new wine, and upon the oil, and upon that which the ground bringeth forth, upon men, and upon hands. I will bring a drought. I will show you what hard times are. You can't take care of your stuff? Let me take away what you take for granted. Let me take away what I've given you. Look around you. What has God given you? What is it that you're not paying attention to, that you don't even have to work for? You wake up every day drawing breath, and you haven't thanked God for that, have you? Or have you? Do you realize that you can't live for more than 3 days without starving to death? Or beginning the process of starving to death? 3 days, that's it. After 3 days, you begin to go downhill. And after about a week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks if you're tough, you're not keeping yourself alive. Do you understand that? Everything around you that works in unison and has been since the beginning of this world continues to work every single time it's supposed to. It never fails because God told it to. Because God provided it for you. And you think about that. When is the last time you ate a meal and didn't think about where it came from, how you got it, how it ended up there in front of you? When is the last time the least you thought about, the most you thought about was your credit card running through the machine? Well, I paid for it. It's mine. Yeah, but where did it come from? How did you get it in your mouth? How did it get to that restaurant? Everything in this world works like that. Everything. All the way down to the mosquitoes. Everything is symbiotic to something else. Nothing is wasted. Nothing works by itself. That's design right there. Then Zerubbabel the son of Shealtiel, and Joshua the son of Josedek, the high priest, with all the remnant of the people, obeyed the voice of the Lord their God and the words of Haggai the prophet, as the Lord their God had sent them, and the people did fear before the Lord. That word fear means to revere. It means to respect. It does not mean terror. It means reverence. Then spake Haggai to the Lord's messenger in the Lord's message unto the people, saying, I am with you, saith the Lord. That's God telling you he is by your side. He is with you. That's all you need to know. That is a self-fulfilling prophecy. I am with you. Are you alone? No, God's with me. And the Lord stirred up the spirit of Zerubbabel the son of Shealtiel, governor of Judah, and the spirit of Joshua the son of Josedek the high priest, and the spirit of all the remnant of the people. What is a remnant? It's a small sliver of material left over after you're done with whatever it is you're building. And they came and did work in the house of the Lord of hosts, their God. In the 24th day of the 6th month, in the 2nd year of Darius the king. That's a date, by the way. You can look that up in history. It happened. Look up Darius the king and look up the 24th day, 6th month, and you'll see that this event is taking place in all history written. In the 7th month, and on the 21st day of the month, came the word of the Lord by the prophet Haggai, saying, Speak now to Zerubbabel the son of Shealtiel, governor of Judah, and to Joshua the son of Josedek the high priest, and to the residue of the people, saying, this is what he wants him to tell them, Who is left among you that saw this house in her first glory? And how did you see it now? How do you see it now? Well, before it was destroyed the first time around. Who saw it when it was original? And how do you view it now? What do you feel about what's going on here now? Is it not in your eyes in comparison of it as nothing? Ye now be strong, O Zerubbabel, saith the Lord, and be strong, O Joshua, son of Josedech, the high priest, and be strong, all ye people of the land, saith the Lord, and work, for I am with you, saith the Lord of hosts. I am with you. That's the second time he said those words for emphasis. According to the word that I covenanted with you when you came out of Egypt, that's the promise he made to the Israelites as they wandered amongst the desert. So my spirit remaineth among you. Fear ye not. Be not afraid, says God. Don't fear this world. Live in it. Function in it. Smoke cigarettes if you have to, but get by. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, yet once. It is a little while, and I will shake the heavens and the earth and the sea and the dry land, and I will shake all the nations, and the desire of all the nations shall come. They're asking for, they're going to get. What are they asking for now? They're asking for climate change. They're asking for asteroids to strike. They're asking for any number of catastrophic things that occur, coronaviruses, and you name it, they're preaching it because they want to keep you afraid. And that's the worldview that they ascribe to, this they that we're talking about, the other people, you know, the globalists, the black helicopters and the globalists. Watch those people because they're going to get what they ask for in just a little while, says God. It won't be long. And I will shake all the nations, and the desire of all the nations shall come, and I will fill this house with glory, saith the Lord of hosts. That's the temple. He's going to draw all the Christians towards that temple on Mount Zion. The silver is mine, the gold is mine, saith the Lord of hosts. The glory of this the glory of this latter house, the second building of this temple, shall be greater than the former, saith the Lord of hosts. Well, now, we know that that second temple was also destroyed. But there's going to be a third temple. They're already collecting stuff to build it now as we speak. They're waiting on a piece of property, and when they get rights to that piece of property, they're going to build that third temple. And that's where the abomination of desolations will take place mentioned in Revelations and in the book of Daniel. And that's also where the feet will come down. When Jesus Christ comes back, his feet are going to land in that mount. His feet are going to touch down on Mount Olive. And that's going to be a big day. And in this place will I give peace, saith the Lord of hosts. Now, we know by reading Revelations that they will cry, peace, peace, peace. But there will never be peace. And that's a fact until Jesus comes back. And then there will be peace, real peace. That's when fighting stops. That's when prejudice stops. Not until then. Not before then. Everything that's wrong with the world will continue the way it is until that day. And that is when peace will be on this earth. The lost souls, God bless all the wicked. I pray they come to meet Jesus and are saved. Amen, sister. I appreciate that. And in the 24th day of the 9th month, in the 2nd year of Darius, there's a date, you can find that, came the word of the Lord by Haggai the prophet, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, ask now the priests concerning the law. That's the 10 Commandments and the rest of the things that Moses established. Ask the priests about it. See if they know what they're talking about. Saying, If one bear holy flesh in the skirt of his garment, and with his skirt do touch bread or pottage, or wine or oil, or any meat, shall it be holy? You hear what he's doing here? If you've got holy flesh, a hunk of holy flesh, like you carved it off of a priest, stuck it in your garment, and then you went and touched any of these things, does that by virtue make that thing holy? What do you think the priest will say? And the priest answered and said, no. Because if you got a piece of rotten meat in your suit and you got the blood all over your hands, thereby not being holy. Then said Haggai, if one that is unclean by a dead body touch any of these, it shall be unclean. You spoke wisely, priest. And the priest answered and said, it shall be unclean. He agrees with him. Absolutely. Then answered Haggai and said, so is this people, and so is this nation before me, saith the Lord. Unclean. Why? Because they've been touching lots of dead things, metaphorically speaking. Their spirits are dead. Their intentions are dead. Their wisdom is dead. And a lot of their bodies are dead. They've been warring for generations. We just went through about 20 books of war. And so is every work of their hands. And that which they offer, there is unclean. That means even the sacrifices that they're bringing to the altar, they're not worthy of sacrifice to God. They haven't done anything to prepare themselves to be Christian or to be followers of God. They hadn't done anything. And yet they're sacrificing and offering things, and that's unclean. Do you think God wants that? And now I pray you consider from this day and upwards. Consider your ways, says Haggai in one way. From before a stone was laid upon a stone in the temple of the Lord, since those days were, when one came to an heap of 20 measures, there were but 10. When one came to the press fat for to draw out 50 vessels out of the press, there were but 20. I smote you with blasting and with mildew and with hail and all the labors of your hands. Yet ye turn not to me, saith the Lord. You find yourself wanting, and yet you don't come to me on your hands and knees and ask God for anything. Consider now from this day and upwards, from the 24th day of the 9th month, even from the day that the foundation of the Lord's temple was laid. Consider it. Think about it. Put your attention on it. Make it something that's forefront in your mind. Consider your ways. Considering your ways. Not just your ways, but the ways of your people, the ways of your livelihood, the ways of your community. Consider what's right. Consider what's wrong. Fix it. Is the seed yet in the barn? Yea, as yet the vine and the fig tree and the pomegranate and the olive tree hath not brought forth. From this day will I bless you. If you will consider your ways, if you will put some serious thought into it, if you will turn your heart towards God, from this day forward, he will bless you. Think about that. And again the word of the Lord came unto Haggai in the 24th day of the month, saying, Speak to Zerubbabel, the governor of Judah, saying, Well, I will shake the heavens and the earth, and I will overthrow the throne of kingdoms, and I will destroy the strength of the kingdoms of the heathens. And I will overthrow the chariots, and those that ride in them, and the horses and their riders shall come down, every one by the sword of his brother. That's rough. That's a rough judgment. And in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, will I take thee, O Zerubbabel, my servant, the son of Shealtiel, saith the Lord, and I will make thee as a signet, or as a symbol, a ring, a emblem. For I have chosen thee, saith the Lord of hosts. Now that is a fate we all wish for. But it's not a fate that necessarily ends in a good way. God chooses you, you suffer greatly for it. Because this is a hard world we live in. And if you got a job to do, it's going to be a hard one. And now we're in the book of Zechariah. In the 8th month, in the 2nd year of Darius, came the word of the Lord unto Zechariah, the son of Berechiah, the son of Iddo, the prophet, saying, the Lord hath been sore displeased with your fathers. God is saying here that his ancestors, his grandfather and his great-grandfather and his great-great-grandfather, they haven't done so well with what I've given them. Let's see if you can do better. Therefore say thou unto them, thus saith the Lord of hosts, turn ye unto me, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will turn unto you, saith the Lord of hosts. If they repent, God will do those things. That's right, Laura. Turn to me, and I will turn to you. That's what God's saying to those people. If you don't turn to me, I won't turn to you. Be ye not as your fathers, unto whom the former prophets have cried, saying, thus saith the Lord of hosts, turn ye now from your evil ways and from your evil doings. But they did not hear nor hearken unto me, saith the Lord. They would not listen. I tried to tell them. I told them in plain English, or whatever language they spoke, and they just wouldn't listen. Your fathers, where are they? And the prophets, do they live forever? No, they do not. Statutes, they do live forever, which I command my servant, the prophet. Did they not take hold of your fathers? And they returned and said, like as the Lord of hosts thought to do unto us, according to our ways and according to our doings, so hath he dealt with us. Well, imagine that. You actually get what you deserve? What kind of world do we live in? Upon the 24th day of the 11th month, which is the month Sibat, not to be confused with Shabbat, different word, in the 2nd year of Darius. That's a date, by the way. That's the month and the day of the week and the king that was king. So that's basically the year. Came the word of the Lord unto Zechariah, the son of Berechiah, the son of Iddo, the prophet, saying, I saw by night, and behold, a man riding upon a red horse, and he stood among the myrtle trees that were in the bottom. And behind him were their red horses, speckled and white. Then said I, O my Lord, what are these? And the angels that talked with me said unto me, I will show thee what these be. Don't worry about it, son. I'll explain it to you. You're worried because you see something a little unusual. Don't worry. I will tell you what it means. And the man that stood among the myrtle trees answered and said, These are they whom the Lord hath sent to walk to and fro throughout the earth. You know who those are, by the way? I can tell you who one of them is. Who else does the words walk to and fro about the earth bring to mind when you're thinking about this? Who else described in those exact words? That would be Lucifer, an angel. So the others are clearly angels, possibly the ones that are imprisoned here at the moment. And they answered the angel of the Lord that stood among the myrtle trees and said, We have walked to and fro through the earth, and behold, all the earth sitteth still and is at rest. Did God just... No, he's talking about the goings of people. Everybody is still and at rest. Then the angel of the Lord answered and said, O Lord of hosts, how long wilt thou not have mercy on Jerusalem and on the cities of Judah, against which thou hast had indignation or righteous anger? These 70 years, that's 30 years, by the way. I'm sorry. A score is 20 years. So it's 20, 40, 60, 70 years. 70 is 70. My bad. And the Lord answered the angel that walked with me with good words and comfortable words. So the angel that communed with me said unto me, Cry thou, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, I am jealous for Jerusalem and for Zion with a great jealousy, and I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. For I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. That is correct, April. You got it. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, I am returned to Jerusalem with mercies. My house shall be built in it, saith the Lord of hosts. And a line shall be stretched forth upon Jerusalem. Cry yet, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, My cities through prosperity shall be spread abroad, and the Lord shall yet comfort Zion, and shall yet choose Jerusalem. Then lifted I up mine eyes, and saw, and behold, 4 horns. And I said unto the angel that talked with me, What be these? And he answered, Horns which have scattered Judah, Israel, and Jerusalem. The leaders, they are world leaders. That's what the horns signify. And the Lord showed me 4 carpenters. Then said I, What am these to do? And he spake, saying, These are the horns which have scattered Judah, so that no man did lift up his head. But these are come to fray them, or to scatter them about this way, to cast out the horns of the Gentiles, which lifted up their horn over the land of Judah, to scatter it. So they scattered us, and I've sent these carpenters to scatter them. Carpenter, by the way, which means to work with the hands. It doesn't necessarily mean what we use the word carpenter for today, which means a builder of houses or somebody that works with lumber. Anything that uses hands, a painter could be a carpenter, or a furniture maker, or a carpet layer, or, whatever. I lifted up my eyes again, and I looked, and behold, the man with a measuring line in his hand. Then said I, Whither goest thou? Where are you going? What are you going to measure? And he said unto me, To measure Jerusalem, to see what is the breadth thereof, and what is the length thereof. Why? Probably because that's where the temple's going to be. And ultimately, the new city of Jerusalem will come down and be on that place. And that place is huge. And behold, the angel that talked with me went forth, and another angel went out to meet him, and said unto him, Run, speak to this young man, saying, Jerusalem shall be inhabited as towns without walls for the multitudes of men. And for I, saith the Lord, will be under her a wall of fire round about, and will be the glory in the midst of her. I think this is God saying that he's going to protect Jerusalem against all things coming, foreign and domestic. Either way, a wall of fire sounds horrific. Hey, Diego, what's happening, brother? You missed the excitement earlier. Ho, ho, come forth, land of the north, saith the Lord. For I have spread you abroad as the four winds of the heavens, heaven, singular, saith the Lord. Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. He that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye. What does that mean? Any man that hurts you hurts God, because this man is God's favorite, the apple of his eye. For behold, I will shake mine hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants. And ye shall know that the Lord of hosts hath sent me. Don't mess with that guy. If you see him coming, you go the other way. Sing and rejoice, O daughter of Zion, for lo, I come, and I will dwell in the midst of thee, saith the Lord. I'm coming, baby, and I'm going to be right in the middle of it all. Sing and rejoice. Throw your hands up in the air like you just don't care. Here comes God, and he's going to be everywhere. And many nations shall be joined to the Lord in that day, and shall be my people. Lo, Amy, Miami, I'll be your God, and you'll be my people, says God. And I will dwell in the midst of thee, and thou shalt know that the Lord of hosts hath sent me unto thee. And the Lord shall inherit Judah his portion in the Holy Land, and shall choose. Why? Because Jerusalem is God's favorite place for some reason. I don't know why, but it is. He loves it there. Maybe he likes the real estate. Who knows? Maybe he likes the view. I don't know. God likes it there, and he's chosen it several times. He'll choose it again. Be silent, O all flesh. That's you. Before the Lord, for he is raised up out of his holy habitation. He's here. Be quiet. Pay attention. Open your eyes and shut your mouth. And open your ears. And he showed me Joshua the high priest standing before the angel of the Lord, and Satan standing at his right hand and to resist him. Who did I say was back there? I said Satan was back there, didn't I, April? There he is. He's one of the to and froers. There's 4 angels standing there. They are the 4 horsemen, by the way. One of them is Satan. One of them is death. One of them is justice, and the other one is wisdom, I think. I don't remember them all. Anyway, they're there. And the Lord said unto Satan, the Lord rebuke thee, O Satan, even the Lord that hath chosen Jerusalem, rebuke thee. Is not this a brand plucked out of the fire? Is this not my people? You know what a brand does? It brands things. Is my brand not on Jerusalem? This is my place. You stay away from it, Satan. Now Joshua was clothed with a filthy garment and stood before the angel. And he answered and spake unto those that stood before him, saying, Take away the filthy garments from him. And unto him he said, Behold, I have caused thine iniquity to pass from thee. I will clothe thee with a change of raiment. Man, to be that guy. God just cleansed him of all of his sins and put new clothes on his back. Brand new, shiny, white robes, I'm assuming. The raiment of a holy person. Take off those dirty rags. I have cleansed you, and I'm going to put some new clothes on you, says God. I'm going to fix you up just right, says God. And I said, Let them set a fair mitre upon his head. Make sure that he's cut straight. So they set a fair mitre upon his head, and clothed him with garments, and the angel of the Lord. So he has this nice big hat on, what they call a mitre. What I call a mitre is a thing that cuts joints, but what they call a mitre is a funny little hat. But it's a symbol of stature. It's a symbol of respect to wear one. So this man has been outfitted with the finest white clothes from God, cleansed of all of his sins, and had a nice hat put on his head. He is ready to rock and roll. He's ready to go out and meet the day. And the angel of the Lord stood by, watching it all. And the angel of the Lord protested unto Joshua, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, if thou wilt walk in my ways, and if thou wilt keep my charge, then thou shalt also judge my house, and thou shalt also keep my courts, and I will give thee places to walk among these that stand by. Hear now, O Joshua, the high priest, thou and thy fellows that sit before thee, for they are men wondered at. For behold, I will bring forth my servant, the branch, in all capital letters. Who do you think the branch is? The branch. For behold, the stone that I have laid before Joshua, upon one stone shall be 7 eyes. Behold, I will engrave the graving thereof, saith the Lord of hosts. I will remove the iniquity of the land in one day. What day is that? That's the day of the Lord. In that day, saith the Lord of hosts, shall ye call every man his neighbor under the vine and under the fig tree. And the angel that talked with me again, and walked with me, as a man that is wakened up out of a sleep. So stumbling around and rubbing your eyes, got it. And thus saith, sorry, I just read something that wasn't there. And he said, and I did it again, and said unto me, What seest thou? And I saw a candlestick all of gold, with a bowl upon the top of it, and his 7 lamps thereon, and 7 pipes to the 7 lamps, which are upon the top thereof, and 2 olive trees by it, one upon the right side of the bowl, and the other upon the left side thereof. What are we talking about? The menorah, symbolically. So I answered and spake to the angel that talked with me, saying, What are these, my Lord? Then the angel that talked with me answered and said unto me, Knowest thou not what these be? Do you not know? And I said, No, my Lord. Well, can't have it all, I guess. Then he answered and spake unto me, saying, This is the word of the Lord unto Zerubbabel, saying, Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, saith the Lord of hosts. Who art thou, O great mountain? Before Zerubbabel, thou shalt become a plain, meaning you'll go away. You will no longer be a mountain. You're not a great mountain. I'm God. I made you. I can make you flat. And he shall bring forth the headstone thereof with shoutings, crying, Grace, grace unto you, or unto it, the headstone. What's the headstone? The keystone, the cornerstone. You are branches, that's correct. But you're branches of a bloodline that came from one place. And the branch, spiritually speaking, is Jesus Christ. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, The hands of Zerubbabel have laid the foundation of this house. His hands shall also finish it. No, it won't. And thou shalt know that the Lord of hosts hath sent me unto you. For who hath despised the day of the small things? For they shall rejoice, and shall see the plummet in the hand of Zerubbabel with those 7. The plummet is a plumb on a string, so you can measure if something is straight or not. They are the eyes of the Lord, which run to and fro throughout the whole earth. The 7 angels that God put out, 4 of which are the horsemen that bring about the end. Then answered I and said unto him, What are these 2 olive trees upon the right side of the candlestick and upon the left side thereof? And I answered again and said unto him, What be these 2 olive branches, which through the 2 golden pipes empty the golden oil out of themselves? And he answered me and said, Knowest thou not what these be? And I said, No, my Lord, 2nd time, for emphasis. Then said he, These are the 2 anointed ones that stand by the Lord of the whole earth. Do you know who they are? Then I turned and I lifted up mine eyes, and I looked, and behold, a flying roll, or a scroll. The 2 anointed ones, by the way, would be Jesus Christ and Melchizedek. Melchizedek, meaning Mecca, Zadok, transliterated. Mecca is the place of peace, and Zadok is the King of Kings. Who is the King of Kings in the place of peace? Do you know? Who is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords? That's who Melchizedek is. And so he turned and looked, and here comes a flying scroll just whipping around him. Here it comes. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. I must be tripping balls. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. That's a big roll. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For every one that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it. And every one that sweareth shall be cut off, as on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. Those 2, by the way, are commandments. Thou shalt not steal, and thou shalt not bear false witness. And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. Then the angel that talked with me went forth, and said unto me, Lift up now thine eyes, and see, what is this that goeth forth? And I said, What is this? And he said, It is an ephah that goeth forth. It is a container that goeth forth. He said, Moreover, this is their resemblance through all the earth. And behold, there was lifted up a talent of lead, another container. A weight. A talent of lead is so many shekels. And this is a woman that sitteth in the midst of the ephah. Who is the woman? This is wickedness, he said. Are you following me? Ladies. And he cast it into the midst of the ephah. And he cast the weight of lead upon the mouth thereof. You understand? Closing the ephah with the wickedness inside. It's not you. Just like wisdom is feminine, so is wickedness. Then I lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, there came out 2 women, and the wind was in their wings. For they had wings like the wings of a stork. And they lifted up the ephah between the earth and the heaven. I want to be clear about something. These 2 women are not angels. Yes, the Bible says they have wings like a stork, but they're not angels. The angels are talking to the man. The angels are on the ground doing stuff that God told them to do. These 2 women are not angels. So whoever gets the impression that angels have wings, this is not that saying that. Angels, as far as I understand, are all male, and they look like normal human beings, only they don't have belly buttons. How do you know that, Jake? Well, because they weren't born, and belly buttons is where the umbilical cord attaches to your stomach before you're born. So if you're not born, you don't have a belly button. You follow me? Then said I to the angel that walked with me, whither do these bear the ephah? Who are these women? And he said unto me, to build it an house in the land of Shinar, and it shall be established and set there upon her own base. And I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, there came 4 chariots from between 2 mountains. And the mountains were mountains of brass. And the first chariot were red horses, and the second chariot were black horses, and in the third chariot white horses, and the fourth chariot grizzled and bay horses. I'm guessing gray and black. Then I answered and said unto the angel that talked with me, what are these, my lord? I'm about to lose my sense of composure here. You're showing me a lot of stuff, and I'm not really able to keep up. So what's going on here? Who are these people? And the angel answered and said unto me, these are the 4 spirits of heaven, which go forth from standing before the Lord of all the earth. The black horses, which are therein, go forth into the north country. Where does God keep telling us to stay away from, by the way? The north. And the white horses go after them, and the grizzled horses go toward the south country. And the bay went forth, and sought to go, that they might walk to and fro in the earth. Those are the horsemen. And he said, get you hence, walk to and fro through the earth. So they walked to and fro through the earth, and bringing with them pestilence and famine and mangledness and fear and terror. That's what the 4 horsemen bring. Then cried he upon me, and spake unto me, saying, behold, these that go towards the north country have quieted my spirit in the north country. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, take of them of the captivity, even of Heldai, to Tobijah, and of Jedaiah, which are come from Babylon. And come thou the same day, and go into the house of Josiah, the son of Zephaniah. Then take silver and gold, and make crowns, and set them upon the head of Joshua, the son of Josedech, the high priest, and speak unto him, saying, thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, saying, behold, the man whose name is the branch, and he shall grow up out of his place, and he shall build the temple of the Lord. Even he shall build the temple of the Lord, and he shall bear the glory, and it shall sit and rule upon his throne. We're talking about Solomon now, by the way, who is a direct descendant to Jesus. And he shall be a priest upon his throne, and the counsel of peace shall be between them both. And the crowns shall be to Helam, and to Tobijah, and to Jedaiah, and to Hen, the sons of Zephaniah, for a memorial in the temple of the Lord. And they that are afar off come and build in the temple of the Lord, and ye shall know that the Lord of hosts hath sent me unto you. And this shall come to pass, if ye will diligently obey the voice of the Lord your God. No, none of these are good, baby. These are all harbingers of the end of the things to come. And it shall come to pass in the 4th year of King Darius, that the word of the Lord came unto Zechariah in the 4th day of the 9th month, even in Chislew, which is a date. That Chislew is a month, one of the 12 months that we have. When they had sent unto the house of God Sherezer, the Regimelech, and their men, Regimelech, what a name, to pray before the Lord, to speak unto the priests which are to the prophets, saying, should I weep in the 5th month, separating myself, as I have done these so many years? Should I keep doing that? Then came the word of the Lord of hosts unto me, saying, speak unto all the people of the land, and to the priests, saying, when ye fasted and mourned in the 7th month, even those 70 years, did ye at all fast unto me, even to me? Was your fasting, did it have anything to do with me? And when ye did eat, and when ye did drink, did ye not eat for yourselves and drink for yourselves? Did you ask for me to bless it? Did you do it in my honor? Should ye not hear the words which the Lord hath cried by the former prophets, when Jerusalem was inhabited and in prosperity? Did you not take advantage of the wealth that you had when you were prosperous, when Jerusalem was a big place? When did you think of me, says God? When did you praise me, says God? When did you think about what you owe me, says God? You seem to think you're doing all this by yourself. I'm the one that set you up. When are you going to praise me for it? Conquest, war, and death. That's right. And the cities thereof round about her, when men inhabited the south and the plains. And the word of the Lord came unto Zechariah, saying, thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, saying, execute true judgment, and show mercy and compassions, every man to his brother, and oppress not the widow, nor the fatherless, the stranger, nor the poor. Let none of you imagine evil against his brother in your heart. But they refused to hearken, and pulled away the shoulder, and stopped their ears, la 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 la, and did not hear. This is what people do when God tells them how to live. They stop up their ears and pull away. They rebel against God like little children when they don't want to go to bed. God's tired of it. When you feel God telling you to do something, here's a switch. Do it! Yea, they made their hearts as an adamant stone, lest they should hear the law and the words which the Lord of hosts had sent the former prophets. Therefore came a great wrath from the Lord of hosts. You think? You think he's mad about that? I would be. These are my people. I told them something very simple. Don't hate your brother and be nice to everybody. And you won't listen? All that I've done for you, all this book I've been telling you what all I've done, and you won't even listen to that? Yeah, you got my wrath. Therefore it has come to pass that as he cried, and they would not hear, so they cried, and I would not hear, saith the Lord of hosts. They would not hear, so I stopped listening, says God. But I scattered them with a whirlwind among all the nations, whom they knew not. They didn't even know where I sent them. They had no idea where they were when they stopped twirling. Thus the land was desolate after them, that no man passed through nor returned. For they laid the pleasant land desolate. And the word of the Lord of hosts came unto me, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, I was jealous for Zion with a great jealousy, and I was jealous for her with great fury. Thus saith the Lord, I am returned unto Zion, and will dwell in the midst of Jerusalem, and Jerusalem shall be called the city of truth, and the mountain of the Lord of hosts, the holy mountain. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, there shall yet old men and old women dwell in the streets of Jerusalem, and every man with his staff in his hand, for very age. And the streets of the city shall be full of boys and girls playing in the streets thereof. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, if it be marvelous in the eyes of the remnant of this people in these days, should it also be marvelous in mine eyes, saith the Lord. Yes, it would be. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, I will save my people from the east country and from the west country, and I will bring them, and they shall dwell in the midst of Jerusalem, and they shall be my people, and I will be their God in truth and in righteousness. Lo-ami, my-ami, I will be your God, and you will be my people, says God. That's what I want, in truth and in righteousness. That's what I built you for. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, let your hands be strong. The words by the mouth of the prophets, which were in that day the foundation of the house of the Lord of hosts. When that foundation was laid, that's when those prophets were on this earth, that the temple might be built. Listen to what they're teaching you so that you can accomplish this thing. For before these days there was no hire for man, nor any hire for beast. There was nobody looking for work, and there were no animals that you could employ to do the job. Neither was there any peace to him that went out or came in because of the affliction. What affliction? The false prophet worship, the mad bands of bandits, the thieves. For I set all men, every one, against his neighbor. So there was no peace to be had. You couldn't even go from one town to the next without getting murdered or robbed. There was no peace. So there's no way to build this temple. There's no way to get everybody together to build it. So do what I'm telling you to do now so that you can accomplish this thing. But now I will not be unto the residue of this people as the former days, saith the Lord. For the seed shall be prosperous, the vine shall give her fruit, and the ground shall give her increase, and the heavens shall give their dew. There, heavens plural. And I will cause the remnant of this people to possess all these things. And it shall come to pass that as ye were a curse among the heathen, O house of Judah, O house of Israel, so will I save you, and ye shall be a blessing. Fear not, but let your hands be strong. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, as I thought to punish you, when your fathers provoked me to wrath, saith the Lord of hosts, and I repented not. I was mad, and I felt like I had every right to be mad. So again have I thought in these days to do well unto Jerusalem and to the house of Judah. Fear ye not. Just as I was angry with them, I'm happy with you. So don't worry. These are the things that ye shall do. Speak ye every man the truth to his neighbor. Execute the judgment of truth and peace in your gates. Let none of you imagine evil in your hearts against his neighbor, and love no false oath. For all these things that I hate, saith the Lord. You want to know how to make God happy? You want to know what he hates? Speak ye truth to your neighbor. Execute judgment of truth and peace in your gates or in your property. Let none of you imagine evil in your hearts against your neighbor. Don't love anything false, especially oaths. For God hates these things. And the word of the Lord of hosts saith the Lord of hosts, the fast of the 4th month, and the fast of the 5th month, and the fast of the 7th month, and the fast of the 10th month shall be to the house of Judah joy and gladness and cheerful feasts. Therefore love and truth and peace. You don't have to fast anymore in those months. Eat and be happy. Be cheerful. Make a feast of it. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, it shall come to pass, and the inhabitants of many cities, and the inhabitants of one city shall go to another, saying, let us go speedily to pray before the Lord, and to seek the Lord of hosts. I will go also, says God. Yea, many people and strong nations shall come to seek the Lord of hosts in Jerusalem, and to pray before the Lord. That's happening now. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew, saying, we will go with you, for we have heard that God is with you. And he is. The burden of the word of the Lord in the hand of Hadrach, in the land of Hadrach, and Damascus shall be the rest thereof, when the eyes of man, as of all the tribes of Israel, shall be towards the Lord. Isn't that a beautiful thing? Blow my nose. Sorry about that. All eyes, as well as the 12 tribes of Israel, shall be towards the Lord. And Hamath also shall border thereby, Tyrus and Zidon, though it be very wise. They practice science, but they'll be looking for God, I promise. And Tyrus did build herself a stronghold, and heaped up silver as the dust, and fine gold as the mire of the streets. They are rich, that Tyrus. Yes, it was. Behold, the Lord will cast her out, and he will smite her power in the sea, and she shall be devoured with fire. Ashkelon shall see it, and fear. Gaza, all sorrowful, and Ekron, for her expectation, shall be ashamed. And the king shall perish from Gaza inhabited. People are going to run like crazy. And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. That's a man with no father. And I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. There's that thing. You don't like pride. We get it. Not pride of any kind, whether it comes with a flag or not. And I will take away his blood out of his mouth, and his abominations from between his teeth. And he that remaineth, even he, shall be for our God. And he shall be as a governor in Judah and Ekron, and as a Jebusite. And I will encamp about mine house because of the army, because of him that passeth by, and because of him that returneth, and no oppressor shall pass through them any more. For now I have seen with mine eyes. Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O daughter of Jerusalem. Behold, thy king cometh unto thee. He is just, having salvation, lowly, and riding upon an ass, and upon a colt foal of an ass. I want you to understand when this book was written. This book was written quite a few years down the road. This book is at least 3,000 years old. Do you understand that? 3,000 years old. That's 1,000 years before Jesus Christ was born. And in this book, written 1,000 years before the man was born, they wrote how he would come into the city of Jerusalem, being their king, riding upon an ass and a colt. 2 That's a very specific way of riding a horse. You understand? That's an unusual sight for anybody's eyes, especially a king riding by himself on a little horse and a smaller horse at his feet, riding side saddle with his feet on the coal. Do you understand that? That's not a possible thing for them to know unless God put it in his heart to know it. Behold, the King cometh unto thee. He is just and having salvation. He's coming lowly and riding upon an ass and upon a colt, the foal of an ass, the baby. And I will cut off the chariot of Ephraim and the horse from Jerusalem, and the battle bow shall be cut off. And he shall speak peace unto the heathens, and his dominion shall be from sea even to sea, and from river even to the ends of the earth. And as for thee also, by the blood of thy covenant I have sent forth thy prisoners out of the pit wherein there is no water. Turn you to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. Even today do I declare that I will render double unto thee. When I have bent Judah for me, filled the bow with Ephraim, and raised up thy sons, O Zion, and made thee as a sword of a mighty, and the Lord shall be seen over them, and his arrow shall go forth as the lightning. And the Lord God shall blow the trumpet, and shall go forth with whirlwinds of the south. No famine here, that's right. You just wait, buddy. And the Lord of hosts shall defend them, and they shall sling stones, and they shall drink and make a noise as through wine, and they shall be filled like bowls, and as the corners of the altar. And the Lord their God shall save them in that day, as the flock of his people. For they shall be as the stones of a crown lifted up as an ensign or a sign upon his land. For how great is his goodness, and how great is his beauty! Corn shall make the young men cheerful, and the new wine the maids. Oh yes, it's going to be a party. How great is Jesus Christ? How beautiful is he? Ask ye of the Lord rain in the time of the latter rain. So the Lord shall make bright clouds, and give them showers of rain to every one grass in the field. This latter rain that they're speaking of is the day of the Lord. The rain is the Christ coming. The latter rain is his returning. And in that, metaphorically, the showers will wash every blade of grass in the field. There won't be one left out. That's all of you. Everybody, every knee will bow, every tongue will confess. For the idols have spoken vanity, and the diviners have seen a lie, and have told false dreams. They comfort in vain. Therefore they went their way as a flock. They were troubled, because there was no shepherd. Well, there is now, buddy. That shepherd is Jesus Christ, and he's come to shepherd all of his sheep. Mine anger was kindled against the shepherds, and I punished the goats. For the Lord of hosts hath visited his flock in the house of Judah, and hath made them as his goodly horse in battle. And out of him came forth the corner, and out of him the nail, and out of him the battle bow, and out of him every oppressor together. And they shall be as mighty men which tread down their enemies in the mire of the streets in battle. And they shall fight, because the Lord is with them, and the riders on horses shall be confounded. And I will strengthen the house of Judah, and I will save the house of Joseph, and I will bring them again to place them. For I have mercy upon them, and they shall be as though I had not cast them off. For I am the Lord their God, and I will hear them, says God. And they of Ephraim shall be like the mighty men, or a mighty man, and their heart shall rejoice as through wine. Yea, their children shall see it, and be glad. Their hearts shall rejoice in the Lord. I will hiss for them and gather them, for I have redeemed them, and they shall increase as they have increased. And I will sow them, shall remember me in far countries, and they shall live with their children and turn again. And I will bring them again also out of the land of Egypt, and gather them out of Assyria, and I will bring them into the land of Gilead and Lebanon, and place shall not be found for them. And he shall pass through the sea with affliction, and shall smite the waves in the sea. And all the deeps of the river shall dry up, and the pride of Assyria shall be brought down, and the scepter of Egypt shall depart away. That's the kingship, and so it has. Egypt is a leaderless country. They have a parliament, but that's about it. Or they have a prime minister or something, but they don't have a king anymore. They don't have a pharaoh anymore, and nor have they for a very, very long time. And I will strengthen them in the Lord, and they shall walk up and down in his name, saith the Lord. Open thy doors, O Lebanon, the fire may devour thy cedars. Howl, fir tree, for the cedars is fallen, because the mighty are spoiled. Howl, O ye oaks of Bashan, for the forest of the vintage is come down. There is a voice, howling of the shepherds, for their glory is spoiled, a voice of the roaring young lions, for the pride of Jordan is spoiled. And that's where we're going to stop for today, ladies and gentlemen. We will pick up next Sunday in Habakkuk 11:4. We're almost there. We don't have much further to go. Man, what an intense, fantastic read. I hope that touched your heart. I hope it made you feel funny inside. I hope it made you question everything in your world. If it did, won't you do me a favor? Go up there and hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon so you get notifications of when I'm going to be online and when my new videos drop. Smash that like button. It's free. It's right in front of you. It takes no effort at all, and it really does help the channel with the algorithms. Helps us get recommended to other people, and that's what we want. Share this video with somebody you love. Better yet, share it with somebody you don't love. Bring them into the family. Make them part of the fold. Be part of their solutions, not part of their problems. Leave comments down below and let me know what you're thinking about. Question me, curse me, bless me, challenge me, confront me, conform with me, drink my Kool-Aid. Make your own Kool-Aid. As long as you're thinking critically, that's what I want. Critical thought coming from that brain of yours. And hey, if you love the Word of God and you can see the value in what I'm trying to create and you'd like to help out in some way, or if you feel led to send your tithes, offerings, or love offerings, or if you feel led to just pat me on the back and say, hey, nice job, Jake, you can do that by going to paypal.me/JakeJohnsonBand. paypal.me/JakeJohnsonBand. If you use Cash App, you can go to $Jake Johnson Band. $Jake Johnson Band for Cash App. Every little bit helps. It's a win-win. It's a blessing for me. It's a blessing for you too. God does notice these things. We do live in a reciprocal universe. You know, knock and the door shall be opened. Ask and ye shall be answered. Give and ye shall receive. That's how it works. God notices these things. And with that, I will do everything in my power to be worthy of your help and your love and your support. And even if you don't give anything, I'll still do all that because I love you and I want you to go to heaven. So, I have answers if you have questions. Lay it on me, baby. What kind of questions do you have? Consider your ways. That was the message for tonight. Consider it. Think about what you're doing. Think about who you are. I think it went well. It's kind of a long read, but I was trying to get to the end of that book, but it don't look like we're that close. If I'm not mistaken, that is the end of the Old Testament. There might be one book after that, but I don't think there is. I think that's the last one. Of course, I could look. Let's see. Yes, there is one book after this. We're in the book of Zechariah. We haven't made it to Malachi yet. We'll cover that Sunday. Hey, Clara Smith, thanks for subscribing. Welcome to the show. Hope you're enjoying it. Hope you're having a good time. I hope you get something out of this. Anybody still with me? Oh, yeah, you're still here. Questions, comments, criticisms, catharses, credit cards, cucumbers, crackheads, anything? Come on, people. What an awesome read. Man, I got a little carried away there. I love you all true and enjoyed the read. Well, thank you, sweetheart. I enjoyed it too. I did enjoy it. I'm going to have to go back and listen to it to find out what I said, but I enjoyed what part of it I played. What? He doesn't know what he said? No, it's not me talking. I'm trying to stay as out of it as possible. You better check yourself. I wonder why MVTV didn't come out tonight. Hadn't seen him in a couple of days, but he just posted something. I just got a message. I'm here. Well, that's amazing. So am I. Any questions? Anything touch you specific tonight? Anything make you feel funny inside? Make you tingle? I get that feeling a lot. Laura, are you still with us? Kevin? Diego? You're in trouble? Anybody? I know that was some deep shit we just read. Tell me you weren't thinking about it. I saw some questions being asked in the midst. I like the background too. Thank you. I like it too. It's good and standard. Gets the point across and it's not too flashy and it's the right color. I like it. It adds a certain level of professionalism to the show. Laura's still here. Anything about tonight you'd like to discuss or think about or recapitulate, delve into, take a step back and look at it. There's a lot of talk of Jesus in this book towards the end of it. This is the beginning of the prophecies of, where they're saying now the things that Jesus are doing. They've said it before, but it's been more steeped in mystery and a little bit more cloak and dagger, a little bit more metaphorical. But here they just came out and said, we're talking about Jesus, pretty much. For some reason, my live chat stopped on my tablet. Try hitting live stream, or live chat rather than top chat. That might help. That was happening to me a couple days ago, that my chat just stopped working and I wasn't receiving. People were talking away and I wasn't getting any of it. And then it would all come in at one time later on. But it seems to be working now. But you got backup on your phone? I did. It didn't change it. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. It'll go away. Mine did. But for about 3 days, my chat wasn't working. Maybe it's spreading. I think it's YouTube trying to keep people from having good conversations. Yep, from my phone. Well, with any luck, I'll have my bike fixed tomorrow. I now have the money to pay for it, so first thing in the morning, I'm going down to Boneyard and getting the parts I need and going over and putting the tire back on my bike and seeing if I can't get her going. I will be happy for that. Yes, I will. Who knows? Good read tonight. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I certainly did. I'm going to enjoy watching it. I have no idea what came out of my mouth, but I'm going to find out. I did have a good time, though. I got kind of into it there a couple times. I like it when that happens. Kind of takes over. When I get into it, though, I tend to go a lot longer than I normally would. Which I don't know that it's a bad thing, but it's just a longer thing. Apparently, what was in there needed to be said. Consider your ways. That's what I got from it so far. Anybody else? Think about it. Get it while the getting's good, while the iron's hot. For what good is a Q&A without any Q? Got all the A, but ain't got no Q. Q, baby, Q, all shoes at Q. All of the Bible is important to know. Yes, ma'am, that's why this channel is here. Because I'm aiming to put forth a place where everybody can get it. Every single book. Was amazing. Well, thank you. I thought so. All right. Well, it's 11 past the hour, so I'm going to go to bed. I love you guys with all my heart. Thank you so much for watching tonight and sticking with me and having such great conversations and really taking it seriously. We're almost there, folks. You have almost graduated Bible 101. We are one book away from the end. Of course, then I'm going to circle back and go through Genesis, so we're 2 books away from the end, but technically, we've already been through Genesis, so technically, you will graduate after the next podcast. Oh, you said something about the branches. And I said it was God, but no, we are the branches, right? We are branches. He was talking about the branch. The branch is Jesus Christ. Through David. The key is David. You got to understand the key of David to understand what he's talking about. And the key of David is through David would come the bloodline of Christ. You understand? David is the great, so forth grandfather of Jesus. And Abraham, for that matter. All these people are part of that one family. And that's the key of David. So, yes, we are branches. But when he said the branch in all capital letters, he was talking about Jesus. And then he switched and was talking about Solomon for a little while. So he may have been talking about Solomon when he said it was the branch. Solomon may be the branch to Jesus. That may be what he's referring to. But you got the right idea. Yes. Branches and vines and anything talking about vines or fruit. We're talking about bloodlines or people or children. That sort of thing. Night, Jake. Go Dogs. Yeah. All right. I love you guys. Have a great night. When you go out into the world tomorrow, be nice to everybody. Just do something kind. Just do it. You don't even have to like it. Just do it. And watch it change your life. I promise you it will. Just be nice. Do something kind for somebody. Go out of your way to show love to someone that you don't know. And watch it fix everything around you. I promise you it will. Do that. Do that for me. Do it for yourself. And watch you prove that God's words are true just by your very actions. Let your inner light shine, and every light around you will start shining in unison. Thank you very much. I love you true from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you. I can't wait until the next time we're together on a Wednesday night. Have a great night, and thanks for watching.